A picture-perfect afternoon in Sydney, and I have to say that Leichhardt Oval, this afternoon's venue, one of the truly great rugby league viewing grounds in the competition. Good afternoon and thanks for joining us for this round 13 clash between the Tigers and the Seagulls. In a poor start to the season, just 7 wins between these two sides. They need to string together some victories to remain in contact with the top 8. The Tigers do come off their best win of the season. It was the Bulldogs last week, and this is their side. At fullback, Miles. On the wings, O'Halloran and Cavell. In the centres, Bradley Galalawa alongside John Wilson. 5'8" is Fitzhenry, the halfback Lincoln Withers. Forward pack, Terry Hill at lock. Manu and O'Neill in the second row. He's the skipper of the side. And up front, Lafranchi, Galea and Skandalis. And coming off the bench today for the home side, Vian, Trindle, Farah and Hallertau. Their coach, Tim Sheens. Manly come in fresh off a bye, and this is their 17. Reeves is at fullback, Donald and Hopawate in the centres, Albert Torrens in for Kevin McGuinness, Ben McDougall the other centre, Ben Walker at 5'8", Ferris at halfback, and the front 6 of Steve Menzies at lock. He's the captain. Pomono, Williamson, Canning's up front for Jason King, Randall and Lima, and their interchange this afternoon, Watmo, Jensen, Harris and Shipway. Their coach, Peter Sharp.
Referee for this one, Shane Hayne. And there really is a certain charm about this ground. One of those venues, the players, they can smell the sausage sandwiches cooking. And the Tigers' first use of the ball, and it is their captain O'Neill.
One now, movement.
Who scored their first try in each of the last 2 matches they have played. Here is Robert Miles. He also spent some time with the Northern Eagles franchise in more recent times. And now Ben Galea back to the 30-metre line, or rather Lafranchi it was for the Tigers. This time Skandalis. It was a very strong performance against the Bulldogs. One of the reasons that they were able to lay such a platform for their victory. Terry Hill in the lock position again today, and that is the last tackle for the West Tigers. On halfway, Withers supplies the first kick. It is deep, certainly on the bounce it is deep.
20.
And the Eagles will have a 20-metre restart. The second time these sides have clashed this year. It was round 4 at Brookvale. And the Tigers had a great afternoon, 38-12, a day that Steve Menzies, the Manly captain, described as one of his darkest days in his football career. Sideline duties this afternoon with a former Knight, former Shark, Matthew Johns.
Yeah, boys, glorious winter's day, 17 degrees down here, very little breeze, perfect conditions for football. Great to be back at Leichhardt. I think the 2 number 13s hold a key to this. Terry Hill gets greater freedom of movement at lock and a chance for much more involvement, whereas Beaver Menzies loves to run his angle, has hit the space of his ball players. I think though with Beaver, he's got to get into the heat of battle a little bit more today and test the big Tigers forwards with his speed and footwork.
And just a little rush down that short side from Donald. It was clever work from Randall out of dummy half. Spotted an opportunity. Now Ferris, long ball across with Cannings. Into the starting side and tackled 30 metres out.
And that might be one of the strengths this afternoon of the Manly attack. Chad Randall, he's got good vision down the short side as Ben Walker chips in behind the winger.
And this is Cavell, a newcomer to first grade, and does a good job there to get back 5 metres in the field of play and then earns his side a penalty. He really did have to burrow his way through the defence. Made his debut in round 7, this youngster.
And this kind of infringement really does take away from the quality of the kick and the chase. Gives easy metres away. In a game that's difficult to line up, Manly, before going into the bye, leaking plenty of points. Their opponents, they're the worst attacking team in the competition. Statistically, 25 tries from 11 games. In fact, the 20 they got against the Bulldogs last week, just the 4th time they've made it into double figures this year.
Tigers, the only side in the league that haven't won a match at home this year, so looking to turn that around here. Manu was with it. And the Tigers on their own 40-metre line. And they were just so impressive last week. Here is Galea. Back up to halfway. And switched to hooker last week for the clash against the Bulldogs. Now Fitzhenry gets a little dart for 10. This is the 5th tackle for Wests. And this time the kick is from Robert Miles, and that is a dusty kick at best to the wing of Donald. So Manly come up with a 20 metres out from their own line, and Coach Sheens wouldn't be all that happy with the end of that set. McDougall inside the 20. We hear that his brother Adam has had some negotiations with the Tigers, also with the Rabbitohs. And now Randall looking for another blindside shot. This is Reeves up to halfway. He'd exposed that part of the Tigers' defence, and they decide to have another go. Last tackle this time with Manly. 5 inside Tigers territory. Back for Ferris. And his kick is placed for Cavell to get across. But Miles was guarding that right side of the field, and Cavell read the play well. So Miles with a run, back out of trouble. Ferris has got on with the tackle and will be penalised. The cry of help from Hayne. The cry was clear, and obviously Ferris couldn't help himself. He thought he was in a dominant position. Miles was going nowhere. So opportunity here for the Tigers if they can find the line. Reeves with a bit of footwork on that touchline. Get a scrum out of it, I do believe, unless his foot was already on the line.
Yeah, well, the touch judge hasn't signalled that it's going to be a scrum, although that was a little bit unlucky. I thought he might have got the ball back in field of play before. But yes, the scrum is being set.
I think the way the touch judge has seen it, he's and that Reeves has taken it over the touchline. Fitzhenry. That was excellent defence from Torrens on John Wilson. Strong customer out in the centres for the Tigers, Wilson. He's played plenty of back row. 30 metres out, Tigers. Best attacking chance of the game with Manu. And again, Torrens drove in low, but an offload from Manu for Cavell. And all of a sudden, the Tigers are only 15 metres out. Galea, his runners went a little too far, back for Manu. Wrapped up there by Williamson, but this is early pressure on Manly. Withers, wide ball for Fitzhenry, and coming back in field, and Miles has it. They're all caught just a little flat-footed at the finish there. Withers, and away they come this time with Lafranchi. They are 5 metres out on the last tackle. Withers is right. They have 4 players to the short side. It comes for Lincoln Withers. Cut-out ball is a good one. They rushed up. Chance for the Tigers. Overhead ball. To the corner goes O'Halloran. O'Halloran is over for the West Tigers. And there are some magical hands there, I think, for Bradley Galilao to get it to him. Centre and winger combining superbly.
Absolutely. The Manly defence rushed up quickly. They realised they were in a little bit of trouble. Let's have a look at this decision against Brendan Reeves. He hasn't touched the... Oh, gee, I think he's unlucky. I think the ball was in mid-air as he's thrown it back in. But that's all academic now, because at the end of this set of 6, the Tigers have scored. You see Manly rushing up very wide. Goes to the second last man now as we see that Mark O'Neill gets the pass. We freeze it there. There you can see the winger unmarked on the outside. How's he going to get it there? That's how. Over his head. Beautiful ball there from Bradley Galilao onto his winger, Mark O'Halloran. And it's been a bright start for the Tigers, and it's no surprise that they've got first points.
Yeah, Mark O'Neill does well. He hits back against the grain with the defence, gets it to the outside. Galilao, he had no other thought than just getting the ball to the edge. He knew it was the last tackle he had to play. And the winger finishes it off well.
Luke Cavell. And it's obviously the strong point of his game. Here's his first kick. That's plenty of build-up for him. From 25 metres out, Cavell's first kick is there. Very much like Halligan. So a great start for the Tigers. They lead in 9 Sunday football by 6 points to 0. So Manly concede first points coming off the bye. It hasn't been a friend this year, having the week off for many teams in the NRL. And O'Neill carries back. He'll be, in some ways, the only bloke disappointed out there. He has scored the first try those last 2 weeks, and he was telling everyone who wanted to hear about it at training during the week. Hasn't scored too many in his career. And now Terry Hill. He revelled in the round 4 clash. He's lost it in that tackle. The referee didn't see it, but neither did either touch judge.
No, the referee actually did make a signal. He ruled that the ball went backwards. So it was ruled a knockback by Terry Hill.
So Tigers 30 out from their line, and again Lafranchi attracting 4 defenders in there. Menzies, Kennings, Hamono and Ferris all were there in a line as Withers gets a kick away. And first bounce for Brendan Reeves. And back comes the Manly fullback, straight into Lafranchi and driven backwards.
And it was important for the Tigers to get off to a good start today, because they're a team that
when they're actually in the game, if the scores are closer, they've got their nose in front, they defend very well. Their defence is competitive. If they lose touch with the scoreboard, their defence can become a little bit ragged. So the fact they're on the board now, this defence will start to rev up and get in the face of the Manly players.
Papawati, a little weaving run. He was well held by Galea. Manly just outside that Tigers 40-metre line. Ferris rushes up and then gets it for Menzies with some good footwork away from Bradley Galilauer. Also O'Halloran. Look at Menzies go. 5 metres out. The Manly captain has set it up for McDougall to score. Beaver Menzies. What a run. And Manly hits straight back at 6-4.
Stephen Menzies at his best there. He scored plenty of tries. You may as well put this one down as a score as well as he gets the football now. So he frees it there. Look at the move that he puts on that defender, the Tigers defender. Play continues, in and away, no idea where he's gone. Throws the little dummy, the winger stays out, then comes back inside, another dummy. Looks like he's going to go the distance. Galilauer just grabs him, and he finally delivers the pass to Ben McDougall. Vintage Steve Menzies.
Yeah, I'm not so sure that the decoy runner didn't take one of the Balmain players out when he came through as a decoy runner, and that provided a little bit more time for Menzies to put his footwork on. He did unbelievably well to get the ball away there to McDougall, who backed up the whole way.
Ben Walker's first kick of the afternoon, and both our kickers on target early. And we have a 6-all scoreline. In 9 Sunday football, 11 minutes gone. Matthew Johns, sideline.
Yeah, boys, Beaver's just a massive handful on the edge of the ruck. Oftentimes he sits and he waits and he's really patient waiting for that football, and he seems to just glide out the back of the game. You know, he just disappears from it. I'm sure Peter Sharp thinks that more is better for Steve Menzies. And you see him here, he's just so elusive, got all the skills.
This was right about the decoy runner. Cannings went through very early. Bradley Galilauer had to readjust and hence was caught a little flat-footed. But a 6-all scoreline and some exciting footy played early. And Manly with it on their 20, and Cannings that time bounced away from Withers. Papawati for a dummy half run and back inside for Williamson. This time it's Randall, has been very sharp early. Papawati puts it down, it went forward onto Menzies. And Tigers will have a scrum feed 35 metres out from the Manly line.
Well, right from the opening whistle today, the Manly have indicated their intentions to keep going to their own left. They're going to test this right-hand defence of the Tigers team. They think there's a weakness over there. They've certainly telegraphed it. I think it's about the 8th time already that they've travelled down that part of the field. So the right-hand defence for the Tigers will want to be on alert all game.
Here's Fitzhenry from that scrum, and Reeves up there with Williamson, who'd broken from the scrum. Withers, and across with Manu. He's a good player. Punctuated by suspensions and injury along the way, though, his career, Willie Manu. Tigers now 20 metres out, and Manu is the man at dummy half, and he will go all day. Pumping forward for another 10. And that is the Manly 10-metre line they are on. Withers, they come right with Fitzhenry. He had O'Neill there, O'Neill has it. 12 metres away from the Manly line, around the legs was Cannings. Now Fitzhenry. They try a little short side shot and then Hill back in field with Galea, keeping it alive for O'Neill. There's like under 8s, it's mini and mod footy here, playing in a very close range as now Withers tries to get away. They've had 6 passes, but all within a 2-metre radius of where they played the ball. Now the kick through. This is a difficult one off the upright, and it comes up for Reeves. Big slice of luck for Manly. Back in possession.
Well, it's becoming such a potent attacking option, isn't it? Kicking at the post. You have a look at the size of those pads around the posts. It's quite a target these days. And again, the ball hits it. Didn't bounce kindly for the Tigers, but certainly did for Brendan Reeves.
Lima stood in the tackle and offloaded, and Hamono got to it. It was touched as well, so the tackle count restarts. And Manly are with the ball 29 metres out. And Randall left with Ferris, and this time finding Cannings. And Manly, they will go that short side again with Ferris. Lauer and O'Halloran are in for a very busy afternoon. And Ferris across field. Some of the decoy runners taken out. Ferris able to offload for Walker. This is good football. The ball may have been knocked down. Tigers are back with it. But Brendan Reeves, he thought he was home. Finds his hand, he probably was. Tigers are back with the ball. A 0-0 tackle. There's been some thrilling passages already in this game. Luke Cavell able to make 5 metres that time. And this is Skandalis. Strong run from the Tigers front rower. And he's left Aaron Cannings a little the worse for wear there. Now this time a hit up from LaFranchi into Danny Lima. Hamono there as well. They're 22 metres away, the Tigers. Withers, he'll test out the wing of Donald again. It's got a little wide off the boot, batted in there by O'Halloran, likewise from Bradley Galileo. It is play on for the Tigers. And it wasn't the last tackle, so they've got one more. They reset. Withers, he'll try a different kick this time. Torrens is going back for it. The chase led by Fitzhenry. And they head him into the corner.
Yeah, well, the second kick was much better than the first one. At least it went forward that time. They lost 20 metres on the previous kick and just had to poke it down into their corner. Get their defence in action down here. They start to swarm in now on the Manly side.
Manly with Hamono. Spent some time with the Balmain Tigers before heading off to boxing. This is Lima.
The first interchange made by Manly with Tony Jensen on in jersey number 16. Cannings, the player to have left, as Ferris deliberately kicks for Scott Donald. Gets the football. It's a dangerous tactic. If it comes off, it can be quite spectacular.
It wasn't a very high kick. I think that's how they probably would have practiced it, although they did come up with possession. Now this kick, that's a good trick from Miles over his shoulder. Coming back for the Tigers. And they start this set 40 metres out from their line. Good enthusiasm from Hill back there to take the first hit up. And then Galea for Wilson. Running at Walker and Jensen. Now 39 metres away. It's simple but effective, this, for the Tigers. Trindle. He is 30 away. Galea. And then Withers. With a dummy and able to offload for Skandalis. He was on his back and Skandalis almost stripped of the football by Menzies. Fifth tackle for the Tigers. They come left with Fitzhenry. He'll get the kick low. He'll find some space. Torrens with work to do, or rather Hopewadi with work to do and take it in goal. Manly line drop out, but tactically spot on there from the West Tigers.
And a super tackle one-on-one here by John Wilson. We've seen all season John Hopewadi break numerous tackles in a row. So to come in and take that tackle one-on-one was excellent for his side, John Wilson, forcing the line drop out.
Let's hear it. We have a Tigers chant here at Leichhardt. The mascot, he's enjoying proceedings. Only half a dozen games here during the season. And Mark O'Neill, the skipper for the day. Taken low by Menzies. They hung around a little long there, I thought. Ferris attacking the right side with Terry Hill. Be a promising raid here. Back-to-back sets for the Tigers as Trindle powers forward for 10. They're now inside the Manly 20 as they build again with Withers. And a switch of play, finding the lock forward Hill, who does the spin. But taken to ground by Randall. Galea out of dummy half. Inside the Manly 10. And this is the last tackle for the Tigers. Withers looking for numbers on the left side. Deft kick and through first is John Wilson. And sustained pressure for the Tigers. They get the reward of another 4-pointer.
And it is very fitting that John Wilson scores the try after he was the man that got them possession back from the line dropout with that one-on-one tackle we were talking about earlier. Lovely kick here. John Hopewadi, if he does have a problem, it's his ability to turn and chase quickly. He seemed to have plenty of time, but there you can see it just took a long time to get going. Wilson was on the fly, had the momentum, got the good bounce and the try.
Even bought himself a little bit of time there, John Hopewadi. He stayed back a bit deeper, but it still wasn't enough to beat Wilson to the ball. It's good coaching by Tim Sheens. Well implemented by his team. It's the third kick down into that corner. One produced a line drop out, and this one has produced a 4-pointer.
Tall winger, Cavell. And this one, 5 in from touch, and 24 metres out. He's shown what he can do from the right side. Let's see from the left. Cavell. Oh, he's got it. Puts a nice little fade on it too. Back to the centre of the fairway. 12 points to 6. 9 Sunday football. His 6th first grade game. Very cool off the boot for Luke Cavell.
Radisson 9, West Tigers 12, Manly 6.
Quarter of the way through the game. Tigers up by 6 as they chase back-to-back wins for the first time this season. Defeating the Bulldogs last Saturday night. And straight away prepared to attack from inside their 20. It was an O'Neill offload for Miles. It's all very promising with the ball in their hands for the Tigers and getting a nice rush of possession here.
Well, Vossi, we pointed out that these teams did meet way back in round 4. It was a big victory for the Tigers, but their fortunes after that really did vary. 6 losses in a row for the Tigers out of that, as they get a penalty here close to the 40-metre line. There was a bye in those 6 losses, but they still strung them together. While Manly, they had 3 consecutive wins, including wins over the Storm and the Dragons.
Tigers will go on the attack inside Manly's half. Matthew Johns sideline.
Tigers have attacked the Manly side in tight. I think they see a lot of opportunity there. Inside balls, second man plays back on the inside and it's working because the Manly big front row look very, very tired.
Trindle took the first hit up. Withers finds another willing runner and Skandalis 18 metres away from the Manly line. Galea across with Withers, little show of the football, finds Terry Hill. Excellent tackle technically there by Randall, went low. Hill was slow to get to his feet. O'Neill really revelling in the captaincy. Mark O'Neill, Galea, Withers. Hill was the decoy, Skandalis is with it. Good fend on Williamson, who had some numbers left. And now the footwork from Graveyard. He's 9 metres out from the Manly line. This is intense pressure on the Sea Eagles. Last tackle with Galea, then away for the try scorer, Wilson. And Wilson, has he got there again? He has! For the West Tigers, Wilson scores a double. The Tigers have their third, and they are thrilled, the fans. They are hanging out of their trees here at Leichhardt.
And again, it came on the last tackle. From a quick play the ball, and the Manly defence really struggling to get back on the line. If he frees it there, you can see that this Manly defender is taking an eternity to get back, and as play continues from the quick play the ball, by the time he turns around, he's not in a position to make the tackle, John Hopewate. And a good second effort here. It looked as though that Ben Walker was going to deny the try. The try scorer able to keep his arms alive and get the football over the line.
There again, late in the tackle count. Coming down this left-hand side of the field, and John Wilson. Reward there for perseverance. He signalled to Galea. The previous tackle 5, they grub a kick behind the line. This one, they ran the ball. Hopewate came up with a poor miss there. As Peter Sterling said, he was struggling to get back to his position. We said before the game that the Tigers have struggled to get to double figures a few times this year, most of the time this year. With a goal kicker like this fellow, I don't think they're ever going to have to worry about double figures again. They've just got to get him some shots. Isn't he a sweet hitter of the ball?
But what about the way he's taken the 2 conversions from the other side of the field? He brought it back left to right. This side was right-left, as Mossy pointed out, a little bit of a fade. You'd imagine he'd just strike it the same way with this attempt.
Let's watch him again. Luke Cavell, almost same position again, and again Cavell has got it. He may be better than Halligan. 3 from 3, all from wide out, and 4's become 6. And your time's out by 3, and they've got 18. Matt John sideline.
Yeah, boys, the atmosphere's great down here. I think the Tigers fans are starting to sense something's starting to happen in this club with Tim Sheens at the helm. They had a good win against the Bulldogs last week, and it's starting to happen again today. One thing about the Manly side, they're losing the ruck area. Early in the game, they'll get numbers in the tackle. That's not happening anymore. They're looking very tired.
Cavell played with the Blamble Jets. Some talent scouts will be going up there to see if they've got any more kickers in the ranks. Tigers are with it. It's been a while since Manly have had the football here, it must be said. And they're with it 20 metres out from their line, but it's all good for the West Tigers.
Well, I reckon the Blamble Jets will be sorry to lose him, I'll tell you. He must have been a star down there.
Hit up and good tackle from Menzies. Classic Menzies really on O'Halloran.
He nearly cut him in half.
And there's another big one from Hamono. Finding his man LaFranchi. Galea kicks. And Reeves, LaFranchi so far today, 40 metres gain in his work. He's been strong. He's made half a dozen hit-ups.
Of course, he was pushed up in the front row today to cover the absence of Chris Patterson, who was named in the original side. He was in for Corey Pearson. He's the third string.
Now Reeves was able to get away from Bradley Galileo and then runs into the shoulder of Galea. He shortens him up. This is Himono. Again, stopped in his tracks. They're on their 30-metre line and they're doing it tough here. First time with the ball for a while and nothing much is happening. Popawati gets it flat-footed, heads back across field. Now confronted by 3 or 4 Tigers, and that's the last tackle. They have really struggled in this set. Ferris's kick is not deep. Off the leg of O'Halloran. So able to start a set from halfway.
You know, I don't care where the Tigers are running in the competition. When you come to Leichhardt Oval, you better be ready to play. And that's what's happening to the Seagulls this afternoon. I don't know whether they thought they had a lot of opportunity out on the left-hand side or it'd just be a stroll in the park. The round 1 clash should have alerted to them. And history says Leichhardt Oval can be a graveyard for any team.
Frankie is picked up and dumped. It was Randall in defence, or rather Watmo, who has come off the bench. And the Tigers push wide with Terry Hill. It is the last tackle here. Withers is the man at second receiver. He won't get it. The kick over the top from Fitzhenry. Bounces up. They've got it back for Tigers. Great defence by Reeves. And then a massive intercept comes the way of Randall. He was just jogging back. Has ended up with a ball thrown 10 metres away from him.
And don't worry where these two sides sit on the competition table. Thrilling, exciting stuff here at Leichhardt. And as you pointed out, Bossy, that's a superb tackle from Brendan Reeves. Firstly, to stop the man, and secondly, to restrict the pass.
Could have been looking at 24-6 there. Popawati gets the treatment from this Tigers defence again. There's plenty of life in this game as Himono runs at one of the smaller men in Withers. Needs some assistance from his teammates. 5th tackle, they're getting through the count very quickly here, Manly. Ferris with a short kick. O'Halloran off his wing. Miles does well at fullback. There was plenty of cover there for the Tigers. Was the chip the play for Manly, given the defensive work they've had to do. So Tigers 48 metres away, 3 tries to 1. And Trindle up to the 40. Sam Harris getting ready to come on. Only his second game. And his debut against Parramatta in that Golden Point extra time game. Now look at Withers. 40 away with a jink. This is the 5th tackle, so one of the kickers out of play, but I'll tell you that Fitzhenry's kicking game has been good. Galea goes for a run on the last and goes to ground. A soft end to the set.
Yeah, there was a bit of an opportunity there. Galea realised that the markers were slow. There was a little bit of a gap on the right-hand side between the marker and the first defender. Just no support player there, and Manly now, they are struggling to get out of their own end. In fact, the last 5 minutes have been played at this end of the field.
Don't have anyone in the forwards at the moment that's able to make any sort of impression. Popawati's doing as many hit-ups as anyone in the pack. As McDougall was tackled that time. Ferris. Well, oh, there is a tackle. Harris was expecting the football. That was news to VR. He had his man covered. Downfield from Walker is high. And it's well over the head of Miles. Not a lot of urgency shown from Cavell. He stayed out of the play. He got his call from the fullback.
Well, that's a big result for Manly. It was a wonderful bounce for them. Picked up another 20 metres for them, and now they finally get to their opponent's 20-metre line and need to muscle up their defences as they've done on O'Neill there. But a good quick play, the ball gives the dummy half a shot.
That's Robbie Farrell on debut. First touch of the ball.
There was a shepherd there. I thought a play was impeded. The referee said no.
They're giving players raps. We've made comparisons for Luke Cavell. He was the shepherd that Sterlo was talking about. Terry Hill crashed into Watmo. Deep kick here. Reeves has got work. He has found the line. We will break here from Leichhardt in 9 Sunday football. It is 18 points to 6.
We've got the doubles on the main game here. Holmes in
Leichhardt.
2,
We're just checking for a 40-20.
So 2 and 4 in the doubles, and you can collect a prize.
Great start to the match to this young dummy half, Robbie Farah, from well outside the 40, but Shane Hayne just wanted to check things. Talking comparisons, they're saying possibly the best since Ben Elias, young Robbie Farah, who makes his debut today, only 19 years of age. Jason Ferris from the scrum for Hokawati to run and go very close to the touchline with the legs. He's back in field, and Harris with a hit up. They call him a union convert. He was a league junior all the way through with Avalon before switching to rugby. I think a decade of league in the juniors. So back to the league code. Manly with it on their 30-metre line. And Walker quick hands on the bounce for Donald. A flyer in this Manly side. Terry Hill able to make the tackle. McDougall, their try scorer, held up on tackle 5 for Manly here. Walker kicks. This is from inside the 40. A little bit too much height on the kick. So Miles is with it for the West Tigers, and he's having a pretty good afternoon of it.
Manly need something here to break the cycle. They've got to force a turnover or get a penalty. Something that gets them out of this kick and chase and trying to get up the other end of the field, because the forwards are just tired at the moment. They can't get the yardage to get them there.
Mark O'Neill with those 12 hit-ups leads the count for the Tigers. Gravy arm. The 40-metre line for the West Tigers. And so much confidence in this camp. It's amazing what one win can do.
Well, it seems very clear that we've got to within the last 10 minutes of this first half, as you see the Balmain, the Tigers players stringing together passes, and being within this last 10, it's so important that Manly do not concede any more points. That's the last tackle, been poor option again, like the last time they had the football. And it's Menzies close to halfway, diving on the football.
That's the turnover they were looking for. Now a good set of 6 to get up the other end.
Ben Walker, a bit sorry there for LaFranchi. He got caught with the ball. He certainly wasn't expecting it on the last play. Oh, Withers came up. It was a very flat pass, in fact, forward. As Watmo tried to hit it up. And a let-off if Manly were to build any sort of pressure.
And 97 is the crowd, so welcome.
Good work here by Withers. He really came in and put some pressure on the bigger man. Raced up. He's an enthusiastic player. His teammates were slapping him on the back. And that's what you need. They turned the ball over in bad position. He was the kicker that probably should have handled it better. 2 tackles later, he's up there in their face trying to get the ball back for his team.
Remaining in the first half.
Take it in, get up, take it in, work away from each other.
Shane Hayne's not all that happy with his scrum. I don't know whether the second attempt was much better than the first, but it is play on.
Tackle 1, Steve Menzies, move it now.
So the Tigers with it 8 inside their own half. And going right with O'Neill. This time the option is to unload for Galileo.
Wait.
Close to that sideline by McDougall. Manly have had few and far between the opportunities deep inside Tigers territory here. Hill has been strong, and away goes Withers. Inside the 30, takes on Reeves, gets past Reeves. Donald from behind, doesn't come up with a tackle. The number 7 scores for the West Tigers. They're excited about try 3, even more so try number 4.
I love seeing players come off the shoulder of ball players, and on this occasion, Terry Hill promotes the football to the man on the outside. He goes to the line. And if he frees it there, you can see that the man is going to come in through that hole as play continues. Offloads it beautifully as the number 17 came in for Manly, misses, and then it's just footwork to beat Brendan Reeves. Very difficult for Reeves to make a tackle when he's almost stationary. Donald came from the right-hand side. A lovely support play on the outside shoulder of Terry Hill.
Yeah, Lincoln Withers, he was the one who got the ball back for his team with a great tackle on halfway. Now he backs up Terry Hill, goes through the middle of the ruck. A little X58 sitting down on the bench, picked it a little while ago. These forwards of the Manly's team have got flat-footed. That time it was Sam Harris and Watmo on the edge of the ruck. Didn't come up together, created the hole, and he'll enjoy that. And our goal kicker now gets one from in front of the post. This will end up in the harbour.
Lincoln Withers, product of Erindale College. Here is this former Balambal Jet from right in front. They've had some good kickers here, the likes of Miranda. You get a bloke called Keith Barnes here back a few decades. The fat man, the chairman's not too happy. It's 24 points to 6. 6 remaining in the first half. Matthew, sideline.
Yeah, boys, Lincoln Withers got to give him a rap. He's been everywhere today. As soon as he ran on the field, he was really chirpy, revving up his bigger forwards. He's been weaving and dodging, and he's been supporting everywhere. You know, he really deserves a rap. And I'll tell you something else about him. Pound for pound, he's probably the best defender in the competition.
Yeah, good players react well to news that other players might be coming to the club around your position. Of course, in the last week, we have heard that the Tigers are going to make an approach to Scott Prince. So if you're playing in a position that Scott Prince may be looking to do so, the only way that you're going to stay there is through performance, and he's done well this afternoon.
There's another one of the hard workers in the pack, Skandalis. Just shy of that 20-metre line on the return from the kick-off. Vian showing us his footwork, and it is good. But again, Menzies, some good stuff front on. And then the work undone as Randall is penalised.
Over the years, he's had a very good eye for a footballer, Tim Sheens, and he doesn't throw them up into the top grade unless they've got something special. I like the look of this fellow, Vian. Got good footwork, he can move, he's a real athlete. And he wins a penalty here for his team. Pretty good judge, Tim Sheens, on when they're ready to come into the top grade.
So Farrell with a restart, and Skandalis lumbers forward for another 10 and looking for a quick play the ball. He gets it. This time LaFranchi. Plenty of troops ready to run for the West Tigers. And the scoring may not be over for this first half. Withers goes wide with Fitzhenry. Trapped there by Menzies, who is getting through a mountain of defensive work. 16 tackles this afternoon for the Manly captain. O'Neill will play 25 metres out. Tigers getting lively again. Farah, that was very much Elias. Back for Hill, he almost slipped the pass. There was 2 who made it to the in goal, but minus the ball. Last tackle, the Tigers. Farah doesn't get a good kick in. Randall is back with it for Manly.
Well, Robert Miles hasn't scored a try this season, but I think he thought he had number 1 coming his way. Sopawade throws the ball out of dummy half. Driving tackle there on McDougall.
About the confidence of this Robert Farah. First grade debut, he's just slipped in from within seconds of getting on the field. He was off for a 15-20 metre dart.
They look bunched, Manly, don't they? They're all just in behind the play the ball there. The West Tigers' right-hand defence has taken up this challenge. Here come Manly again, down that left-hand side of the field, but they wrap them up.
That time it was Bradley Galileo on Menzies. And this is the last tackle for Manly. Walker's now finding himself to get in a second plan. Plan B, this is the kick to Cavell's wing. Hasn't had much to do with the ball, Cavell, but he did that in handy fashion.
Tell you what, he doesn't lack any bravery. That was a very, very difficult take. Players coming at him, never took his eye off the ball. And look at the way he gets crunched here by the second defender coming in. Did well to get up and play that.
3 now, move it now.
3 remaining first half. And a 24-6 scoreline. O'Neill taken to ground by Ferris. And Withers worked this afternoon. And his kicking has been good. We see another one of his kicks right now. Oh, the bounce over the head of Fitzhenry. It was like a big rubber ball.
Sometimes the football can make a fool of you. It couldn't bounce anywhere else. He would have got it any other way than over his head like that. Beautiful little kick in behind the line.
Set up on its point and bounced a good, 2 metres high and backwards. So Manly, unexpected shot, 35 metres out from the Tigers line. Canning's good bump off of Ferris. Little halfback netted that. Having his 110-kilo front row run right into the solar plexus. Here is Ferris again. He's okay. 20 metres out from the line. Got a pass away for Menzies. May have been forward. Randall, an unusual pass. And now the call off forward. None of that out of the textbook.
It was touched off Tigers first for the knock-on. No advantage there. Okay, so it's still Manly ball.
Interesting call by Hayne, and a big one coming up to half-time.
The crowd aren't going to like this. Saying it was a knock-on against the Tigers because it came back and hit the Manly player.
24, Melbourne 14.
Yeah, they're saying the hand of Skandalis very early on. What followed was all a bit of a mystery. Yeah, There's only one man on the blind side here for the Tigers. Ferris, they go open side with Walker. Left foot step, wrapped up. Haven't had too much defensive pressure on their own goal line in this first half, the Tigers. They need to absorb here. Ferris, good ball. Walker, away for Lima. Only 2 metres from the line. Manly looking for a confidence booster going to half-time. Walker fires out the pass. Here is Torrance, there is Hopewadi, and Manly have their second try.
Yeah, and you've got to say a little bit fortuitous, that decision going their way, but they've taken advantage of it, and very good vision here from Ben Walker, seeing the opposition defence come racing in. If we freeze it there, you can see that Tigers player has come in, and that means he's only got one teammate out there posted against a couple of attacking players. As play continues, Walker, a lovely ball over the top, and then it's just draw and pass. Nice work there from number 18, Albert Torrance, onto the try scorer, and wasn't that needed on the stroke of half-time?
It certainly was, but with a long floating pass like that to the outside, the winger should have been up tackling Torrance as he got the ball. Cavell stayed back on his line. He's no chance back there. He can't stop a try from there. He had to go up with his number 6. He had to be up there on the next man. He should have been hitting this fella in the belly as he got the ball.
Here's a kick, 21 metres out. Walker off the right boot. Now hasn't got the legs, this kick. It has from Walker. Well, this has been a fine exhibition from Cavell and Walker. One of many highlights from the first 40 minutes. Great match of football here this afternoon at Leichhardt. 9 Sunday football. Stay with us. Half-time, 24-12, Tigers over the Seagulls. 24 points to 12. Let's get the second half underway. And the home team in front. But Manly, the last scorers, coming up to half-time, and that was a big lift to them. And Cannings it is with a first use for the second half. Menzies running into Bradley Galileo, who was well tested in the first half. This right side defence for the Tigers. And we're told in excess of 13,000 here this afternoon. McDougall, effective short side run, which they produced very early in the game. Now Ferris from inside the 40. Here is a big chance for him. It straightens up, and that was luck for the Tigers. Miles is with it. It was so easily done by the Manly halfback. Kicked it right from that 40-metre line. And Tigers back with the ball. Both players with interchange troops who didn't see any football in that first half. Dean Hallertau and Mark Shipway will be fresh for this second half. And now John Wilson, who came up with a brace of tries in that first 40.
A little bit surprising Mark Shipway hasn't been into the action. He's a noted defender, a strong defender. At times there, the Eagles look to be out on their feet and missing tackles. Probably the ideal man would have been putting in the line at some stage. Last tackle now, Withers onto Miles, who kicks inside his 40, straight down the throat of Brendan Reeves.
So Reeves back from the 20 for Manly. Matthew Johns is back from the rooms. Matthew, what have you got to tell us?
Yeah, Bossy, Manly coach Peter Sharp is pretty positive. He said that, you know, boys, all they're doing is killing us in the ruck area. In the modern game, you can score points quick. We just got to keep patient, think about possession and field position. Tim Sheens, on the other hand, he was really happy. You know, he said, boys, we're just going to keep playing aggressive, keep peppering them in the middle of the ruck. He said, they're tired. Don't be tempted to go wide. Keep to the script.
Now Randall, another dart for this young Manly hooker. Inside the Tigers 40, Ferris across with Walker and on for Menzies, running at Terry Hill. And two of the old stages, I guess you could say, go head-to-head there. Played a lot of football together in their time. Now Ferris kicking back to the left. And O'Halloran a little slow to turn around. He's hoping it'd go a little deeper. Now he's got an assignment in front of him, Mark O'Halloran. He passes in goal. Always a risk involved. Tigers, not for the lack of trying, a trapped in goal and a line dropout.
I never mind seeing a pass thrown in goal. The players are confident to do so, and there's a chance of getting out. And O'Halloran, he didn't put a whole lot of pressure here on the receiver. The silver pass onto the chest, but even that wasn't enough to get back into the forward of play.
Field position to start this second half for the Manly side. Right on half-time through Hopewadi. Sideline conversion from Walker. Now looking for first points of the second 40. Canning's held up. The first hit up is currently in negotiation with the Manly club. A few clubs interested as Lima takes some heavy work for the Manly side to the Tigers 20. Big chance. McDougall scored the first try and stepped away there from VR. Now there's numbers on the right for Manly. Pass doesn't go to hand. Torrens is with it. And Engels back in field. Feels safe and finds the hand though. The overlap was there and they score in the right corner. Randall right up to the line with Lima. And Lima is too strong to get over. For Manly, their third try. Mark O'Neill was left behind for the Tigers. They are back in business, the Sea Eagles.
Again, that comes on the back of a nice kick into the in-goal area to give them a second set in a row. Chad Randall, we pointed him out earlier. He's a very clever player. Normally goes down the short side. This time he comes to the open. Going to the players, holding the ball out, and holds it up. He's attracted two defenders. Mark O'Neill wasn't set to make a tackle on a big man like Danny Lima. And he spun out of the tackle. 2 or 3 metres, goes over adjacent to the post.
Yeah, coached him at the Roosters many years ago, Danny Lima, when he came over. He was a junior Kiwi. Spent some time down at the Raiders. Found a home over on the North Shore, and he's played pretty consistent football this season. And as you say, O'Neill just didn't have a good body position there in the tackle, and the big fellow was able to push him aside and dive over, and all of a sudden the complexion of this game has changed. It was 24-6, it's now going to be 24-18, and only the 6th the difference.
Walker successful again. Perfect record for the kicker. Suddenly Fatty's got a smile. 5 into the second half. Matthew John sideline.
Yeah, boys, there's a lot of Jim Sinaris about Chad Randall. He gets out of dummy half well, he's strong, and as Sturlo said, he's clever up the short side. It was a nice bit of goal there. When he went there, you see him get out of dummy half here. The markers aren't going straight. He sees that. He pumps long, and he passes short. That's pretty clever work, and Danny Lima just too strong.
Tigers only have a 50% conversion rate this season when they've led at half-time. That's been on 4 occasions. They've gone on to win twice. Now they've conceded, 2 tries in the space of 6 or 7 minutes. One side at half-time, fairly much immediately the other side.
Yeah, it's not easy when you haven't got a habit of winning. You get out to a 12-point lead. It's really uncharted waters for you. And just got a little bit negative there in their last little passages of play. It's invited the Eagles back into the contest.
Another run for Chad Randall back to halfway. And this time McDougall taken by Bradley Galileo on the 4th tackle. Hopewadi is in the play, and he takes a run to the line, contained by Farah. There's the hooker out there for the Tigers. Walker kicking on the last and goes for that high kick on Robert Miles, who this time over the shoulder. Now that has gone forward. He was facing his own goal line. I've got no problems with the decision of Hayne, and no complaints either from Miles, and the Manly side will have a scrum feed, 10 out.
And before you criticise the drop ball here, I can tell you that these spiral bombs move very, very late, and Miles was never in good position there. The wind was swirling it around, and as it comes down, it floats away from you. And you just couldn't get a catch on it. They're not easy to take at all.
And they're guessing what's going to happen here. The Tigers' defence from this scrum. It is Menzies who breaks. Stephen Menzies is cartwheeled straight over the shoulder there by Viard, and it was a try-saving tackle. Walker stands in the tackle of Viard that time. They go to the right. Watmo. And this Manly side now putting the Tigers under the pump. Randall back for Walker. Walker long ball back there with Hamono. Numbers are left if they can offload, and that is a good tackle. A big tackle on Harris. It came from O'Halloran. Hamono. 11 out. Tigers have done well to regroup up to tackle number 4. Randall running out of dummy half. There may have been a little shepherd there, and then Hopewadi can't handle it. It goes over the sideline. This crowd getting a little tense here at Leichhardt. 24 points to 18. Plenty of time left in the contest. As Terry Hill gets away from 2. Only the second time last week he'd ever worn the number 13 on his back. The first occasion was in 1993 with Western Suburbs. It's a lifetime ago. Here's Mark O'Neill. Into the 40 in the McDougall tackle. O'Halloran for Scandalis. Tigers needing just a little injection here. Maybe a penalty to go their way. As Withers drives deep to the corner. Won't get the bounce though. Reeves is across. He's had a pretty good afternoon too, Brendan Reeves. The two fullbacks, in fact, have played well.
Yeah, they've just got to forget about the scoreboard, the Tigers. Forget about the fact that they're in front. Keep playing the game. Don't go to try and protect the lead.
Inside for Hormono. Having a great impact with the ball this afternoon, Solomon. There's Manly across field. Hopewadi, flat ball for Ferris. He had Hopewadi there back on the left. He didn't look to pass. Last tackle for Manly. Randall able to run again at a dummy half. Kicks. He turns around O'Halloran. O'Halloran doesn't get a friendly bounce. Donald may have scored for Manly. It'll be the video referee, Stephen Clark, who will decide. But there's a lot of confidence among the Manly players.
Yeah, Scott Donald, probably the quickest player on the field, is very, very confident that he's got the try. And he is a prolific try scorer for them. He got a hat-trick at one stage this season, and the bounce, again, was a good one for the Manly side. Everybody is onside, no doubt about that. McDonald was in behind him, probably 3 or 4 metres. Now, all we're looking for is downward pressure. And it looks as though the grounding from that shot is okay. This will show it up perfectly. Yep, that's a try.
It was a wicked bounce, wasn't it? Donald, who is the winger, was actually inside the kicker, Randall, when he put the ball in behind the line. I think it was Cannings that was out. The big forward was out on the left-hand wing where Donald normally would have been. But it was that speed coming in from behind. And the wicked bounce has produced what will be a TRY try. And again, Randall, very impressive out of dummy half.
Yeah, and an easy one for Stephen Clark, video referee.
This was a previous play with John Hopewadi, as he does this in his game now, drifts across from dummy half, not looking to run himself, but to promote the football. And Jason Ferris tried the big left foot step on Robert Miles, who came up with a good tackle. Now, this kick that led to this try wasn't easy to do, because there wasn't much room to aim for.
So Walker will look to convert. He has 3 from 3. Cavell has 4 from 4. This is an old-fashioned shootout, this. Walker, who kicked the goal to win that historic Golden Point match against Parramatta from 19 out. Walker's got another one. From 24-6 down, it is back to 24 all. There is 29 minutes remaining, Matthew Johns.
Yeah, listen, I'll tell you something about this game at the moment. The emotions of both teams have done a reverse. I said in the first half it was Lincoln Withers revving his troops up. Well, now it's Jason Ferris who's doing all the yahooing. The Seagulls are definitely on top.
How about him, Johns, on the sideline? He's got the pen. I reckon the clipboard's next to him. He's got coach written all over him.
Well, massive defence from the Tigers here. Bradley Galilauer and Cannings, and then Hill's involved. And now the spirit of this game, it just simmers. Hill still wanting a go with Aaron Cannings. And referee Hayne will have to sort this out, and eventually he gets a shot.
Go on. Yeah, just go on. Yeah. Who we got? 14. 14 from Manly. Yep. And we got Nick Bradley from Aaron Canning, and Nick Bradley. Nick Bradley. Nick.
The talk has gone over. Charlotte's still being looked after by our security people.
Thanks, boys. You heard that? Listen, look at me. Okay. When the tackle's finished in there, we just get up and we walk away and we carry on. Okay, that's good. Let's get on with the game.
Aaron Cannings gave Nick Bradley Galilauer the stare. He wasn't going to have a look at the ref, but look, the bottom line to all of this was some very, very good Tigers defence. Cannings coming back from the kick-off and driven sideways and out of desperation tried to offload. Touchdown right in the middle of it. All he had to defend himself was a flag. Tigers, 25 metres out, and on the attack with Miles. And again, the crowd, they get enthusiastic. And Wilson, he would love a hat-trick. They need a try, they need points right now, the Tigers. Vian The momentum has gone for them. Farah. The ground he goes in the tackle of Watmo. 9 metres away from the Manly line. Withers. They are set right with Fitzhenry. Hill ran an angle inside. So too does O'Neill. Contained but able to offload then for Hill. Tries a step on Menzies, but again, the Manly captain. He's been outstanding in defence today. Farah for Withers. He stops and props and now heads back to where he came, and there's plenty of defence there as well. It is Ferris who drives his opposite number.
It's the last tackle.
Last tackle, 12 out. Tigers with Fitzhenry. Won't get a kick in. Now they'll look for a kick. Skandalis throws a pass out. Galileo can't handle. And Manly come up with a ball. I don't think Skandalis had a kick in his kit bag to produce. So Manly with it on their own 20. And you have to wrap the Seagulls' defence.
And he's come off second best here, Bradley Galileo. He's gone in on Cannings again, looking for the big hit. Gets up very groggily. Got his head in the wrong place, but bravely gets back to his position. And Cannings is following him and sledging him from behind, saying, how did you like that? Good tussle, these two.
Cannings is still stalking him and still giving him the verbal. Simono tried to slip the pass. Tigers up with it. That was a tirade from Aaron Cannings on Nick Bradley Galileo. Of course, Gus's MVP. It's going to be tight today. Your chance to win $1,000 from Nutrigrain, the official cereal of the NRL. And that number, 0428 123 999. Text the name of the player you will think will be Gus's most valuable this afternoon. Cavell, 20 metres away from the Manly line. He's got him offside. Smart work by the winger.
Not the normal place you would have a penalty kick from goal. It's a low percentage shot, but maybe with this fellow, they'll say, let's see if he can nose us in front. He's picked up the ball. He says, I'm willing. The captain's coming across.
Well, what would the Bilambil Jets do, Gus?
The Bilambil Jets are kicked for goal. The Tigers are going for the try.
He missed it. He hails from the Bilambil Jets, Luke Cavell. Skandalis takes the first charge willingly into the defence of Watmo. 9 metres out. This time LaFranchi offloading for Galea. He is 5 away from the line, and Walker and Watmo, they ride their man to ground. Tigers at 24 all. Dummy half play. He stretches out and loses the ball, Skandalis. And it was only on the third tackle.
Well, he did everything right except get the football down. He threw the dummy, saw there was one marker. He's grounded short. It would have been a double movement anyway for mine. So another bullet dodged there by the Manly side.
Full time Aussie Stadium, South Sydney 41, Melbourne 14.
So Manly off the scrum win. Heartache really for Skandalis, because he retains possession. He wouldn't have been penalised for a double movement because he didn't get to the goal line in any case. So out they come. Shipway's now into the action. And look for him to line up a few of the West Tigers attackers. One of the best hitmen in the game, Mark Shipway. This is a very willing contest we are witnessing here at Leichhardt. 9 Sunday football, and O'Halloran is chasing back, and this time with plenty of urgency. O'Halloran all the way back to his 10-metre line. Won't be able to link up with Miles. And Menzies, captain of the chasing team that time. Here comes Miles. One other game played this afternoon, and as Hill, a former South Sydney Rabbitoh, finds some open pasture there. What a win to South Sydney over the Storm, 41-14, only their second win of the season. So well done to Paul Langmack and the boys after their worst loss of the year last week against Parramatta. Tigers 35 metres out. Withers. And across with Vian. And Vian standing. He's had some good touches, Gray Vian. LaFranchi tackled from behind by Randall. Last play, Tigers, Withers, short kick. They haven't had a last tackle result yet this half, and they don't get it again. Hopewadi offloads for Reeves. And Reeves is away for Manly. They keep it alive and put down by Torrens. And Haynes is knocked back. Oh, I'd like to debate that one. Manly with it, Hopewadi. I'd have a few supporters too here at Leichhardt.
This is starting to look like the extra time played between Penrith and North Queensland last night. Percentages have gone out the window on occasions. That's going to make for a very exciting last 25 minutes.
There's Mono. One head. Oh, he's got Menzies right on the button. Menzies goes down for the count. He's back up and the Tigers are in possession. That's the biggest ricochet I've ever seen off the schnoz of a player. Right on the beak.
Oh, glad it wasn't a cricket ball. What's this? Bang! And down he goes.
Still, if we still got the Golden Falcon at the end of the year, I think we have a new favourite.
Mario, he'd be very proud of that one.
Oh, the headgear's no help there, is it? Matthew John sideline.
Yeah, boys, both sides lost their composure in attack, that's for sure. There's little communication, no cohesion. You get the feeling that both sides have got the focus well and truly on the scoreboard, and that's dangerous.
24 all and 23 minutes remaining. It is a special place to play football here at Leichhardt. Rarely does it not deliver a contest.
Straight, Marcus, straight.
20 metres away from the Manly line. With a switch of play at the ruck for Galea. And held up there by Jensen. 11 metres away. Lafranchi. And Lafranchi charges at the line. He's from the Wollumbar Mustangs, Anthony Lafranchi. And now Galea gets in goal. They will have a scrum fee. Plenty of drama here at Leichhardt. 9 Sunday football. Back in a moment at 24 all.
Wait. The changeover's 5th and last. Come out.
As you rejoin the play, the charge from Galea before the break, it was on the last, it was a changeover, and Manly are back in possession. So it was a roll of the dice from Galea. He comes unstuck, but credit to the Manly defence.
Turn out, movement straight
Prevented
away.
him from planting the ball, but some of the last tackle plays from the Tigers in this half, well, they just haven't had a result. Now they've conceded a penalty. Remembering, it was 24-6 at one stage, and now back to 24 all.
This is where Manly have got to settle down. They came to this game with a plan today that they could work down the left-hand half of the field and test this right-hand defence of the Tigers. They threw 30 shots at them in the first 15 minutes and came up empty. But now, when they need to try to win the game, or to get their nose in front, they should just settle down and come back this way and start to put the plays on they've rehearsed during the week.
I also think the first hour has shown that it is much easier to get field position running right to left. It appears that the breeze does go that way. I'd be looking to kick early in the tackle count and make sure they played at the other end and wait for mistakes.
By the way, it took 58 minutes for Manly to get their first penalty of the afternoon. Here is Jensen. Oh, good tackle, Galea. And Withers involved. And Jensen felt every bit of it. And Walker does the same as he is picked up in the tackle of O'Neill. 40 metres from the West Tigers line. And Ferris, probing kick. Donald is on the fly. O'Halloran can hear his footsteps. O'Halloran covers up and stays in the field of play by a matter of centimetres. Miles comes back for the Tigers. Miles gets through the front line somehow. I don't think he knows. And outside the 20, Cavella's with it. He's come in from his wing on the left side of the field. On the 30. Fans not happy with the 10 metres. They extend wide, so the winger's not going to be there. And force back in field, Fitzhenry. Given the treatment from Himono right at the finish. Galea, they work left. And Frankie, one of the hard workers for the Tigers, held up on the 40 and on the 5th tackle. Back for Withers. He gets the kick in from right on that 40-metre line. Reeves will be aware of that. Well, this one has probably found it right at that junction of the 20-metre line and the sideline.
Now the touch, he's gone 20.5 metres out. He's saying not a 40-20 in that man's favour.
Well, it's inside the 40. If there was a corner post there, this would have hit the corner post. Oh,
I say
not.
no. I say no.
No, but you'll never get anything closer than that.
I have to clear up. I reckon it's right on the 20. Do you count the 20 as inside the 20? They've given the feed to the Tigers.
40-20. Well, then what they've said is that if there was a corner post on that junction, it would have hit it. That gets the ball the other side of the line, like we do with the in goal.
The 20-metre line constitutes being inside the 20. So what a decision, and a very popular one here at Leichhardt. 15 metres out, Bradley Galileo, a loose play out of dummy half. O'Halloran is trapped there by Menzies. And Menzies up to 21 tackles for the day. Slow play the ball. Menzies in the thick of it. Withers. O'Neill changes the angle of his run. As a result, it was easy for the defence of Shipway. Now Galea out of dummy half back for O'Neill. He's 10 metres out. This time it is Hill. Looking to offload. Right, then goes left. Miles is with it for the Tigers. Going across the face of goal. Now they find a bit of space with Fitzhenry. Off the boot there of Cavell. And Manly come up with the ball. It is play on for Torrens.
What a game.
Cavell didn't even make an attempt to catch it. It came straight off the boot.
And straight into a Manly player's arms, who was then going to go over the sideline. And Joel Hopewadi knows that he's going, gets it back in field to Albert Torrens.
Well, you follow the football, the soccer closer than I do, Peter. That's a real good first touch, isn't it, from Cavell?
It was a fair save from Seaman in goal as well.
Hopewadi.
I just wonder now, in this kind of game, as Manly go wide, Menzies a little bit of space on the inside and the outside. Ferris is going to tackle around the 30, but continues on.
Well, this is good football,
40.
isn't it? Look at this.
50.
Ferris back to halfway. Magic football. And then, I think he's milked the penalty. Jason Ferris. Tigers are penalised. But I reckon there was a little bit of acting there from Jason.
And has marched them 10 to make a shot at goal a real possibility. I don't know if they'd have had a go from 48 out. Ben Walker will from 38. And somebody has had a word to say.
It was good football from the Eagles. They fanned to the left-hand side, as they had earlier in the game. They found space up the middle. He's tackled from behind by Galea. Now he will stretch and make Galea pull his leg to hold on a little bit longer. That's a milk. He's milked that, no doubt about it. Galea not happy. Talks to the referee, and the referee says, I'm not going to put up with that, and marches him 10.
I was going to make the point, I don't know with 20 minutes to go whether coming off a bye is ideal in these circumstances. Or whether you wanted a tough game under your belt last week. We talk about freshness in byes, but I just don't know whether that's a good thing in such a crunch situation as they face the Manly Seagulls.
Walker from 38 metres out to put his side in front. Walker is sweet off the boot. And Manly is in front. They have erased an 18-point deficit. Now they're in front by 2. Matthew Johns on the sideline.
Yeah, guys, as Gus alluded to before, the Manly side hit him on the right side a lot of times in the first half. Well, I can tell you sitting on the sideline, there's a lot of space there. They've had numbers a lot of times, but they just can't find the structure under fatigue to get the ball there. If they can settle down, get the ball to the left, they're going to find a lot of joy in this second half.
Good to see the pockets of the Manly supporters at Leichhardt this afternoon.
And Matty, I know that this is a lot different venue to Suncorp Stadium, but to watch a footy game, I don't think it's any less exciting.
And next Wednesday night we'll be back at Suncorp Stadium, of course. Origin number 1. I know you'll join us from 7:30. First game of the series. Right now we are totally taken, compelling viewing this finish at Leichhardt. And still 15.5 minutes remaining. Ferris will kick. Pass is dribbled along the ground. This is from inside the 40. They jog back. Miles has it for the West Tigers. There are 7 chases there for Manly.
That's how they win the game.
No dummy half for the Tigers. Cavell gets there at the last moment.
They win by kicking long, chasing well, and then defending.
Hill trying to bring his side out of trouble. Strong run. 15 metres for Terry Hill. Now with Galea and Mark O'Neill. Back inside for Trindle. Held up in the Homono tackle. And again with Galea for Withers, then Fitzhenry. They come wider with Vian. Vian standing in the tackle. Keeps his legs moving. And makes another 10 metres as a result. Now was he pushed down? Last tackle, advantage played for the Tigers. Wilson 8 metres out. Back inside on the fingertips of Fitzhenry. Then Withers. Withers gets over for the Tigers. Oh, the video referee will have to check this one as well. But Withers is plenty excited for the West Tigers.
This is a very interesting call by the referee. He wants to see if the put down is on the foot of Brendan Reeves. No, that's fine. That's short, wide of his foot. For mine, again. Lincoln Withers. That's going to be a try. How many tries have they scored on the last tackle this afternoon? I think that'll be about their 3rd. I don't think the foot of Brendan Reeves is a concern, Gus.
No, but the referee was right there. He went very close to Brendan Reeves' foot, and I was a little bit worried in first look whether or not that was what had happened. There was a fumble there. The ball had come out of his hands very quickly. I wasn't sure if he actually got to the line with it, but I think he's come down right on the line alongside the foot. We've got a try. Well done by the Tigers. They were struggling to come up with a super set of 6 there. Plenty of yardage. Ran it on the last tackle again down that left-hand side of the field. And backing up on the inside is Lincoln Withers, has had a mighty game today. Big run by this man. It was Willie Manu. Willie Manu struggled, just kept pumping with the legs, pulling players out of the way. They couldn't actually get the momentum or the right position to pull him down. And from there, down the short side they go.
I do tend to agree with you, Andrew. I think that if they hadn't have scored a try here, they would have, well, they were pretty harshly done by not to get a penalty at the play the ball area. Advantage being played possibly, and it's definitely worked in their advantage. Withers, I'm not going to say scoring the match winner. Still a long time to go in this game. They're back in front, and happy to be so.
Well, we said it right at the top of the coverage. There is no better place to be on a Sunday afternoon than Leichhardt for a game of football, really. We are getting a little bit, I don't know, romantic about our rugby league, but this is a sensational place to be.
We're romantic people, boss. That's what football is. Football is romance.
And it's very much the tribal element here at Leichhardt. So Cavell gets another kick, 21 metres out, and well, there's no doubt, he gets it. Luke Cavell, he thinks there's a few more chapters to be written in this book, though. 30-26 in Break on 9 Sunday football. Cavell has 5 from 5, as does Ben Walker. Standing for the 2 kickers. 12.5 minutes remaining here at Leichhardt Oval, and it is 4 points the difference, 30 points to 26. Two sides that have had their defensive troubles this year, but it has led to plenty of excitement this afternoon. The Sharp maybe not quite enjoying the excitement.
Well, one of the obvious differences between the sides now is how easy the Tigers are getting out of their own danger area compared to their opponents. That's four tackles now, and they've picked up 35 metres fairly comfortably. Terry Hill, well, I think it's an obvious move for him to lock forward at this stage of his career. I wouldn't be surprised if he plays about the rest of his football in that position. Good long kick from the Tigers. Will they get the bounce? They do. Reeves work to do. Excellent set of 6 there from the Tigers.
Kick from Ben Gallier on the last. Apawadi takes off from dummy half. And Mark O'Neill makes the tackle. Still interchanges remaining for both teams, so no problems in that department. As Jensen makes the hard metres back to the 20. Randall for McDougall. And taken by Bradley Galilauer and also O'Halloran. Ferris will provide the kick this time, almost charged down by Scandalis. Miles with the catch. Back from his own 20 comes Robert Miles for the West Tigers. He accelerates as he gets to Randall on the 40. Bradley Galilauer. Solomon Amono was caught out of the play there for being offside. I think the Tigers would have gladly accepted the penalty. Mark O'Neill.
He's had a mighty captain's knock, Mark O'Neill. That is his 21st hit up of the game. He's also come up with 19 tackles, easily leading the work rate from either side.
Back at 28 tackles and 19 hit-ups last week, this man against the Bulldogs, Mark O'Neill. Just at the top, local junior, captain of the side for only the 4th time. Trindle gets the Tigers 32 metres away. Last tackle. Miles has an age to set for the kick. I've got to say, didn't produce his best kick. Reeves comes down with it. He's stripped the possession by Scandalis, and Hayner's got a real knock on against the Tigers front rower.
Oh. Yes, listen. Pull the ball out and it went forward. No problems with the one-on-one, but it went forward. Yes, by John when he pulled it out.
That'll do, mate. Terry Hill telling one of his players to be quiet, be quiet.
Terry Hill, QC for John Scandalis, putting forward the argument.
What the referee ruled here is that it was a fair one-on-one strip, but he hasn't touched the ball. He hasn't touched the ball. The referee ruled that he stripped it and pulled it forward. He never actually touched the ball.
In possession. We'll have to have a closer inspection of it.
And he didn't play at the football anyway. He was just making a tackle.
He's pulled it out with his foot. You watch his foot hook around the ball as he goes past him with his body. His foot actually pulled the ball out of Reeves' hands.
Manly 25 metres out from their line. There it is. Right arm of Skandalis came into contact with Reeves' hand, if anything. 9.5 minutes remaining here at Leichhardt. Randall switches back and we get another big shot. Oh, they're coming in, Manu and Withers. Manly under assault as Randall kicks from inside the 40. Through the fingertips of Miles. A game that has had everything and then some. Tigers with it. 10 out from their own line. Again, a good chase from Manly. That strip. 1-on-1. Was that knocked forward? Walker is with it. Well, that was definitely a strip. And Manly are with it 2 metres out from the line. And the Tigers concede a penalty.
You rolled him over. You worked him over. Right there.
Go. Cops the decision. Walker will take the quick tap. With Ferris. Manly down by 4.
One there, let him go there, straight up.
9 metres away from the line. How quickly they find themselves at the Tigers' end of the field. Switch back to the left. Ferris darts up to the line. Jason Ferris. Held up just a metre short. Randall at dummy half. He has a go himself. Chad Randall. Chad Randall's got over. Chad Randall has scored for Manly. It is 30 points all. And Walker will have the shot at goal. And still there is 8 minutes remaining here at Leichhardt.
Oh, and mixed reactions in the crowd here. The home side are going off. That's a knock back, even if it is a strip. But I've got to say that I thought the Tigers, in fact we thought the Tigers were harshly dealt at the other end of the field seconds ago.
Now Randall throws the dummy, gets underneath them. But that strip again, I'm just wondering whether or not when Walker had stripped the ball and it came out, it didn't touch his teammate, Williamson, and then come back to him in an offside position. It was a simple try in the end. Randall just able to go past some tired defenders underneath him on the line. And he's always capable of that. But the strip that gave them possession, Walker pulled the ball out, it went backwards. And I thought it hit a teammate and then came back to him in an offside position. Walker now will strip the ball. The ball comes out, hits Williamson, and now Walker will pick it up in an offside position.
Here is the kick for Ben Walker to put Manly in front. The kickers have been perfect this afternoon. Manly in front by 2. 32 to 37 to go. Matt John sideline.
I know Peter Sharp thinks Randall is the future captain of this club, and at the start of the year he wanted his players to wear their hearts in their sleeve a little bit more, and this young bloke's answered the call.
Tigers on the restart. Cavell goes deep. Menzies is with it. Manly up by 2 points, and still you think there are more points in this game. Taken front on by Skandalis and Galea. Seagulls on their 20. Hamono from dummy half. Taken by John Skandalis. Chad Randall. Blindside for John Hopewadi. Hopewadi carries his man with him. That was Terry Hill. He hangs on every second he possibly can, Terry. Randall back for Hamono. Second run in this set to the 40-metre line. That is tackle number 4. Ferris is directing the troops go forward for another. That is Williamson who delivers. And up to halfway. And now Ferris with room for the kick. They have turned O'Halloran and Miles around all day. O'Halloran is with it, with a skip, and not really at full pace attacking that line.
Let's just see how much the wind has been taken out of the sails of the Tigers in this set of 6. Although there's a chance on the far side now and a little bit of space, keeping the ball alive. Again, can they get out of their own end in fairly comfortable fashion? That's 3 tackles.
Farah took the run for the Tigers. Home crowd looking for that penalty. It comes back for Skandalis. Up and over the 40-metre line. Good defence by Williamson that time. Farah to the right with Terry Hill. Hill all energy this afternoon. The lock forward for Wests. 5th tackle. Tigers kick will come from Withers. Deep to the corner. Reeves has got it covered. And Reeves so safe at the back, he comes back and through the tackle of Withers. The countdown is well and truly on now to Wednesday night. State of origin at Suncorp Stadium as Hopewadi goes wide. Hopewadi able to offload. Ray Warren will be back in the chair to call all the action from Suncorp. And this is Randall for Manly. Watno is with the ball, trying to stand in the tackle of Manu. Well, they can put the Tigers to bed here, Manly. They lead by 2. And this time, Ferris backs and into the defence. Loose ball back, fielded for Jensen. Jensen spins into the tackle of Trindle. Exactly 5 minutes remaining now. Walker, inside pass is juggled by McDougall. Spins through the tackle of Miles. Got the pass to Williamson. Manly is over. Remarkable try from the Sea Eagles. And McDougall was dizzy but was still able to offload.
He's a very dangerous attacking player, is Ben McDougall, as there are handshakes on the bench. Don't get too carried away yet, fellas, because there's still 4.5 minutes to go. Through the middle of the ruck, flat ball from Ben Walker, and McDougall comes to the second last man, finally to the winger. The referee's in great position to rule on that. There may have been a doubt as to whether it was forward to Williamson, but the referee in the best position to call. Very well constructed. Again, is that to be the match winner?
Oh, gee, did well to grab that, didn't he? Juggled it a couple of times, spun out of the tackle of Miles. Halloran comes across. Did well, Williamson, to stay on side. He too was being spun around in the body collisions, but managed to keep himself behind the play and picks up what could be the match winner.
Probably more important, or as importantly, Gus, obviously, is the conversion attempt, as we see Ben Walker gets the pass back inside, juggled it, didn't touch the defender, so no knock on there. No one tried to stop the pass being thrown, and the good thing for the Manly team, of course, is that Ben Walker, well, you'd expect to have him put this one through.
Well, that's now 7 from 7 for Ben Walker. And they're home to Seagulls, 38-30, man on the sideline.
Yeah, guys, Peter Sharp, he gets frustrated by Benny Walker sometimes. He thinks he plays too sideways. On this occasion, he plays straight to great effect. It's the Brad Fittler play. Step back at the inside shoulder and lay a ball back into an inside runner. Benny McDougall spins out of the tackle and a great ball to Williamson.
Well, that has certainly deflated the party balloons here at Leichhardt. They've gone silent, plenty going for the exit gates. But what a comeback from Manly. They trailed 24 points to 6 at half-time and could have been more. With a try right on the stroke of half-time for Hopewadi, and strong in the second 40.
And what about, we pointed out, West Tigers have struggled to score points this season. Only 4 times leading into this game have they got into double figures. They've got 30 this afternoon, and they're going to go home beaten.
There's Jensen. The hit up back to the 40. He's a contender for our Nutrigrain Iron Man of the match, Chad Randall. Oh, bad play, the ball. Luke Williamson almost put the studs right through it. Tigers with the ball. Willie Manu. 2.5 minutes remaining. And a strong effort from Willie Manu for Cavell.
Let him go now, Luke.
He still provided one of the highlights, the kicking of Luke Cavell. He's 5 from 5. And a drop ball, very untidy play, the ball from Trindle. He wanted a penalty, he doesn't receive it. Massad capped it on the bench. And that is mirrored in the faces of the fans. No dash, he said.
I've really enjoyed the clash of the two war horses today, Terry Hill and Stephen Menzies, former teammates in that great Manly side of the middle 90s. They've been at each other all day. You see a replay there of the lost possession in the play of the ball. But Hill and Menzies has been an attraction today for these fans. Really enjoyed it.
Pay your money. You do as you please once you get inside. Ferris hit hard by Hallertau. He's also on debut for the Tigers, getting a late entry into this game. McDougall there. And called to play it. Right inside Tigers territory. Back with Randall. And just puts his head down as he runs at Hallertau. On halfway, deep ball back for Menzies, and a flick out the back with Cannings. Cannings was very strong to open the game, ended up being backslammed there 40 metres out, and now across field goes Hopewadi, links up there with Walker, comes to a stop. Hill has in front on. Hill strips him of the football. That's fine. So Tigers come up with it. Jeff Tuvey, former Manly half. Nathan Long in the foreground there, out with a busted shoulder at the moment. But Tigers get away very late for Fitzhenry. Keeps it alive, intercept by the Manly try scorer Williamson. I don't think he's in any condition to run 80 metres. And Walker knocks on. There will be no urgency to pack down this scrum. The cause is lost for the Tigers. And this bloke will provide the countdown. We don't know his name, but he's a star right now, and he will celebrate tonight. Manly have another victory in the 2003 season. They advanced to 14 competition points. They've done it the hard way, 18 points down in the first half. They finish up scoring 6 tries to 5, 38 points to 30. Manly has defeated the West Tigers.
This has been a Fox Sports presentation.